pitching is not just an Excel spreadsheet that has all the numbers and facts and figures about a business. It's actually storytelling with facts and figures. So think about an Excel spreadsheet or anything it's just graphs, it's numbers, it's cold, it's lifeless. You don't do anything with that. Now think about the movies or your favorite books. Those are stories that you go along with for the ride. Think about a pitch as a combination of story structure, which has a beginning, middle, and end. It has action, adventure, it has suspense. But think about it with all the data that go into a good business plan. If you can marry those two together, you could have a compelling pitch. For most people when they're pitching, they want very much to get up and share something that's exciting to them. But they often don't think about who's in the audience, why should they care, and what should they do. That's the most important thing, is that you actually, before you pitch, you think deeply. Who am I? What is this business about? Who is the audience? What do they care about? And what is my message? And how can that audience act on it? Here's what you want to think about. If I have an invention, but I need partnership, I need money, I need partners, I need resources, and you have those resources, then I'm asking you, join your resources with my idea and let's make something bigger for both of us. It's every business in the world. You need customers, you need clients, you need users. So when you're pitching, you want to think deeply. What are we about? What are we doing? What's the audience about? What's important to them? And how can my solution match up with what's important to them? If you get those right, you're on your way to developing a compelling pitch that will cause the audience to take action that will forward your business. Having a good business and having a good pitch, I've seen people who have wonderful businesses and a terrible pitch. I've also seen people with terrible businesses, but a pretty good pitch. And guess what? Both kind of work. What's more important? A brilliant business, but you can't get to the customers, or a so-so business, but you get to customers? We all know that in example B, so-so or bad business, but you can get users, you have a chance of surviving another day. So here's the thing. I work with a lot of PhDs, scientists, very bright people, but they don't understand how important it is that in order to get out of the lab, and I mean the lab metaphorically, just the lab of life where there are no users, you've got to think, how do I get people to adopt this idea and fund it, believe in it, give me a grant, something that will forward me along. So that's really what people have to think about. In a perfect world, brilliant businesses and beautiful pitches, but I would rather have a brilliant business and an okay pitch than I would rather have a terrible business with a stellar pitch. Yeah, so my hope is, when I work with companies, is to train them on pitch fundamentals early in the business, because it's not about messaging something that is. Let me put it this way. When you wrestle with very important questions, who am I? What's my business? Who are we here to serve? I was just listening to an interview with a business, Lyft, and they're like Uber. They're worth $5 billion. But after 5 years in existence, they were a ride-sharing app for college students trying to go from upstate New York to New York. That's what they were. And then when the advance of technology and instant messaging came about, they said to themselves, what if we had to start over today? What would we do? And that's how they changed their business model. So for any compelling business, you have to be willing to wrestle with these, whether you've been in existence for 100 days, 100 years, or you just formed today. You have to be willing to start at the fundamentals, and the pitch question should ask that methodology so that you know what you want.